Hey, I just got back from DEF CON 31. I had an absolute blast. It was great. But I'm ready to, make another Hack the Box video. So, I, when I went to DEF CON, I actually invited one of my friends who has no IT experience to come with me. And before we left, I thought I'd run through a simple Hack the Box machine with him. And I thought, hey, why not just share it with you guys? So today we're going to be doing the Hack the Box machine called Devel, Devel. Yeah, so let's hop into it. Oh, I guess also before I forget, I have some Hack the Box affiliate links down in the description below. If, you find that like CTFs and Hack the Box training is your thing, consider using my affiliate links down below. Helps me out some, and if it's a service you're going to buy already, I'd appreciate it. Hey, I actually had about half the video fail to record properly, so just gonna redo it all, and that's why you see the change of clothes here. Okay, let's get into this. So every time I do a new machine, I do like to create a folder for it. Oh, let's rename that. Hmm. There you are. And we're gonna name this the name of the machine. Come in here. And then I also like to make a separate folder inside of here for my scans, my Nmap scans. Hop inside of this folder, open it up in the terminal. See, let's make this nice and big for you guys. It might be too big. How's that? All right. So I'm gonna start off by just running like my go-to scan here, tech scv, so that will run our like default scripts and give us detailed version information about the oh why am I I need some more coffee. It'll give us detailed information about the services that are running on the ports. There we go. See, just couldn't think of the word. All I needed was a quick sip. I'm also going to use tech T5, and that's going to put our aggressiveness of the scan up to 5. I believe the default is 3. We're going to go ahead and throw in our IP address of the machine, not our own IP address. Um, and then I would like to output this as scan1.xml. Also, I like to beautify my scan a little bit. So we'll use XSL tproc here, and we're going to take that scan1.xml file and then output it as scan1.html. We can just go ahead and run this. Oh, man, I just rolled out of bed. So, there we go. Oh, more coffee. All right. So here's the result of our scan here. We can, this is a, there's not much going on this machine, so it's pretty easy for us to take a look at what's here. But let's open up the HTML version just so you guys can see what it looks like. Hopefully that's readable for you. So right up here we have our scan summary. It's got the information. Um, it's got information such as like the flags that we used and the full command. Um, the Nmap version. This is all really nice if we're going to go back through and if we have to do like subsequent scans later. As we scroll down further here, we can see that port 21 is open, and that's looking at FTP. And our scripts here have told us that FTP anonymous login is allowed. So the anonymous login for FTP um, allows anyone without an account to, by default, upload and download files from within the FTP directory. So it looks like we've got an ASP.NET client here, an IIS start.html file, or HTML file, and a welcome.png. Looking down here at port 80, looks like we're running our web server on this machine, a IIS server. So this is a Microsoft box here. And it looks like we might actually be housing our web server files within the same directory that we have FTP access to, that we have FTP anonymous access to. That's kind of dangerous because we could upload a payload there potentially, which I think that's what we will do because we've got ASP.NET here and we've got the ASP.NET client. So we can upload a .aspx file that should be run by the ASP.NET client there. A malicious ASPX file. We're not just going to upload any. So let's go ahead and build that payload out. So let's open up a new tab here. Oh, you're going to make me zoom in again. Oh, I missed. There we go. I'm going to go back one, and then I'm going to make a new directory for a payload. And I would like to change directory into our payload directory. There you go. You can look over here on the right and see that, oh, maybe you can't. I think my camera might be in the way. But now we're in this payload directory. Let's see. Well, if my camera's in the way, let's make this just a little bit smaller. There we go. This went from desktop Devel scan to desktop Devel payload. Ooh, and I didn't capitalize the P in payload. That's going to bother me a little bit. No matter. All right. We're going to be using the Metasploit Framework Venom tool. And that tool allows us to like dynamically build out payloads, and we can do things like we can use special encoding for them, pick file types, pick our payload types, and all those beautiful things. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go MSF Venom, tech P to select our payload. So we know this is a Microsoft box. So I think we could just go Microsoft and Microsoft interpreter reverse TCP. Now we could do this as a staged payload, but I don't really want to do that. The last time I tried, I actually ran into some issues with it, so we're just gonna do it all as one. Let's see, I think it's TAC F to set the file. So we're gonna ASPX and oh, is it TAC X? Yeah, let's try it. And maybe TACO for the output. I'm blanking. Let's call this dev dot aspx. Something innocuous. Invalid payload. All right, I must have messed something up there. Let's take a look. Let's open up a tab. Let's actually start the Metasploit Framework console here. Because once that's open, I can actually search inside of there to find the payload that I'm looking for. It's also fine because we're going to need Metasploit Framework open anyway. All right, so we're going to go search. I'm looking for a Microsoft payload with Meterpreter. Is it payloads slash Microsoft? No results. Maybe it's just payload. Oh, I bet it's Windows. Windows and it's not Microsoft. And then Meterpreter. There we go. There's the one I'm actually looking for. It's Windows reverse TCP. Ah, more coffee. Mm. You know, DEF CON was loads of fun. If any of you ever get the chance to go, I highly recommend it. All right. Looks like that's done. We've got our dev.aspx file here. So now that we have our ASPX file, let's go and get our listener ready. So for the listener, I'm going to be using the multi-handler within inside of the Metasploit framework. And the multi-handler is, maybe I'm dumb again? Exploit multi-handler. No, it's right there, 30. All right, so you can type use 30. Yeah, and so the multi-handler, what that allows us to do is it allows us to listen for payloads that weren't created from a module within the Metasploit framework console here. It's pretty useful. So let's go ahead and set our payload to Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP. Sweet. And now we can use the options command to, see all of our options, make sure that we have all the required options filled out. So we do need to set our local host. I'm actually going to set that globally. You can do that with the TAC G. And what that does is that it allows, if you like switch between modules within the same like Metasploit session here, you your local host value jumps with you. It's really nice. But if you don't know how to get your local host information, you can use the ifconfig command, and here you'll get your interface information. So for me, because I'm running on a pwn box here, it's this one right here, our 10, 10, 14, 2. Set that. I'm fine with the local port being the same. Keep the exploit target as a wildcard target. And we're gonna go ahead and exploit. And now this is just gonna hang out and listen. So now let's connect to the FTP server on our target. Uh, there we go. And now we just need to say, hey, I want to be anonymous. I don't have an account. Cool. Anonymous access allowed. Send email, send identity, email name as password. No, thank you. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and put this file, put our dev.aspx file up here. And there it is. So I believe the ASP.NET stuff should run that file. We might actually have to navigate it to it from a web browser before it'll trigger. Come over here and let's go to the machine server. And so we know we named it dev.aspx. Oh, huge idiot. Big dumb here. So, do you know what I did? Because I know what I did. If we hop back here, let's get out of here. I did not set a local host or local port, so it doesn't know where to send that information to. Failed to validate. Okay. Maybe no spaces. This is what I get for rolling out of bed and just hopping into this. Oh, there we go. All right, let's connect to our FTP service again. Hmm. Okay. Now, let's see if we have anything connecting back to us. Hey, there we go. Always double check your commands. It's really easy to roll out of bed and just totally fucking forget something. All right, so now we seem to have access to this service here. Let's see. Let's drop out a shell. Who am I? All right, looks like I'm some sort of like service account for the IIS server. Okay. Do I have access to No, you don't want me to do that? Let's go to the users here. See, do I have access to the Babis user? Nope. All right. Let's drop out of the shell then. And there's this pretty neat tool within Metasploit. I don't know. I think it's sometimes worth a shot. Trying to use it before you actually go and upload like a binary like WinPs to try and look for escalation paths. So we can type background and we will background this Metasploit session. So we still have our connection, but it's sitting in the background. And now we're going to search for a cool tool called the local exploit something. I always forget the last part. Suggester. Use 0. Give me my options. And you can see here that we need to set our session value. So if we looked up here, we backgrounded that as session 1. If you didn't know what session was, you can just type in sessions and it will tell you. There we go. So now you can see here that our session value is set to 1. Let's go ahead and run this. Just so you know, there's not really a difference between a run and exploit. I believe run is just an alias for exploit, but meaning that run is just another name for the exploit command within Metasploit. I just tend to use run whenever I'm running like a reconnaissance tool or an auxiliary tool, and then exploit I tend to use for things like my things like actual exploits or handlers, you know. All right, this can take a while. It's another coffee break. Oh, hey, looks like we're done. All right, so it might be self-explanatory, but if you've never seen this before, if it's red, we're not vulnerable at all. Or at least the automation tool has just decided that it doesn't think we're vulnerable. Because tools can be wrong. So let's go through the line here and see what exploits we could try. So we got exploit Windows local bypass UAC event. Don't really care about the UAC. I don't need to bypass the UAC. Exploit Windows local MS10 015 kit ratpod. All right. Yeah, I mean, let's try it. Let's try number 2 there. Oh, I should probably copy that. Remember, Control-Shift-C to copy while you're in the terminal. Control-Shift. We're going to go use Control-Shift-V. Let's go with options. So once my session, we're going to use, set session 1. Now, let's exploit. Hopefully this works. Hey, all right. Let's drop into our shell. Who am I? NT Authority. It's great. We should have access to everything. Oh, that's dumb. I need to hit. All right, still doesn't want me to do that for some reason. And just so you can see where we're at, we're the users page. And so with Hack the Box, the user flag is going to be on the user's desktop, and the root flag is going to be on the administrator's desktop. So let's go ahead. We can use the type command. I want to type, which is going to output the contents of all files there because I'm using the wildcard. and I want it to be in Babis desktop. Oh, all right, all right. I guess it's not happy with that. Can I at least list everything in Babis desktop? I can. Okay, there's the user.txt. All right. Shame on me for just trying to speed things up. Can I use my wildcard in here? I can. Interesting. Okay. So that's going to be our user flag. Let's go back and let's go to our administrator desktop. If you look here, we have a root flag. And now we have the root flag right there. So we're done. This box is ours. So, I hope you thought this was valuable. I hope that you learned something today. If you have any questions or any comments, just feel free to drop them below and I'll try to respond to them within a reasonable amount of time. But anyways, yeah, that was it. All right, have a great day. Peace.